Statistical Analysis of Great Achievers.
Hello students and teachers, we 8th graders did a small statistical study as part of our math project. We are glad to present to you the details on how we went about doing the project and our interpretation of the results. First of all, what is statistics? Statistics is a form of mathematical analysis that uses qualified models, representations, and synopses for a set of experimental data or real life studies. The three major steps in statistics are 1. Planning and collecting data, 2. Processing and presenting data, 3. Analyzing and interpreting data. As you all know, there are portraits of great achievers and leaders in our school building. In fact, there are 71 of them across all floors. We plan to take all the data from the portraits such as nationality, gender, occupation, and year of birth from the portraits. We then gathered the relevant data. We structured it as per our requirements. Then we arranged them in Excel sheets. We had to classify the data, and we used pivot charts such as bar graphs, pie charts, etc. We did this project in order to understand the concepts of statistics. Here we present the results.
Field Analysis.
We didn't want to use too many fields because we wouldn't be able to make meaningful interpretations from them. So we grouped the fields into larger heads like this: arts, business, politics, religion, science, social activism, and sports. Arts includes musicians, lyricists, painters, actors, writers, etc. Science includes physicists, chemists, naturalists, and even technologists. This is a horizontal bar graph. As we can see, the bar corresponding to arts is by far the longest. This is so because arts is the field where individual achievements gets the most recognition. In science and sports, for example, besides individuals, the teams or research organization also get recognized.
Period analysis.
This is represented as a pie chart. The size of the pie corresponds to the number of achievers born in that century. There are few achievers featured who belong to the 18th century or earlier, so we group them all into a single pie. As we can see, we tend to remember recent achievements more than the older ones. Moreover, the field of knowledge has grown multifold in the past 150 years or so. That is another reason why we have more people from the 19th and 20th centuries.
Location Analysis.
Now, let's look at how we group them through nationality. We had to make some smart assumptions. For example, Mozart was born in Salzburg. Now it is a part of Austria. But Austria didn't exist at that period, but we considered him an Austrian. There are many other examples like Mother Teresa and Bruce Lee, who were born in one country but did most of their work in another. Now, as you can see, there's a bar graph of the different countries with the number of achievers. We have the USA, the UK, and India in the lead. As USA and UK were more developed than any other country in the past century, there are more number of people. Having India as a home nation, we have to have more number of our own people. Next, we will look at our next way of representation, the frequency polygon. As most of the countries are small and have a less number of representatives, we have grouped them continent-wise. In this, it is Europe in the lead, followed by Asia and North America. South America and Africa are the lowest. Africa being the lowest is because it was called the Dark Continent and many people feared to explore it. Many people fought hard to stand out and prove what they were. One such example is Nelson Mandela. The continent Australia goes completely underrepresented.
Gender analysis.
We also did analysis based on gender. This is a bubble chart, and the bubble represents the number of males and females. The size of the bubble depends on the number. As you can see, there are far more men than women. This can be due to the reason that in the past females were not as educated as males, so they didn't get enough opportunities to display their talents. Even so, there are many women achievers who have not been displayed on the walls of our school. Such examples are Mrs. Indira Gandhi, MS Subbulakshmi, Marilyn Monroe, Marie Curie, and many more. So we request our principal and teachers to coordinate with the management of our school and correct this imbalance.
Drill down analysis.
A drill down analysis is a multi-dimensional analysis. We take one bar or one pie from one of our earlier analyses and explore it further based on other dimensions.
Field drill down of period analysis.
We could take the pies from the period analysis and drill down to find a distribution of fields in different centuries. In earlier times, life was simple, and people had few fields like arts, politics, and science to excel in. Whereas in the modern times, many other fields such as sports and business have evolved, and so there are more opportunities for people to excel.
Continent drill down of field analysis.
There is a belief that countries east of the Atlantic are better in arts, whereas the Western countries are better in science. We wanted to validate that. Here is the continent-wise breakup of arts achievers.
And that for science.
As we can see, although the number of achievers is different for arts and sciences, their percentage distribution by continent is exactly the same. So we can say the assumption that East specializes in art and West in sciences is invalid.
We tried to apply many different techniques of statistics for this study. This helped us learn various concepts of statistics in depth. Thank you.